Thank you and welcome to the session today. We are going to do a demo session on BW for HANA today. So I welcome all of you to this demo session. And quickly, a little bit about myself. My name is Ranjit Raut, and I have around 14 plus years of SAP experience, mostly in the BI space, BI, BW, Object, HANA, all those. So I'm right now I'm working as a BI platform architect in one of the organizations here in US East Coast, basically. So I work in a manufacturing company in US. I have lots of experience in BW, starting from all the older versions of BW to BW on HANA and BW for HANA recently. So I have got vast amount of hands-on experience, solution designing experience, and everything. And I have been kind of taking these classes on BW from some time now. We used to do classes on classic BW before. Then we started doing BW on HANA, and most recently we have been doing the BW for HANA batches, basically, or the classes. And I do have got quite some experience in in kind of taking these kind of batches with all of you. So that's about myself, and without wasting any time, I know everybody's busy. So let's go and get started with the demo today. Okay. So before we go to the content, let me just clarify a couple of points basically. So I want this demo to be interactive. So you guys are all welcome to ask any question anytime you want. You can interrupt me during the content, and you can ask any question, because I know I don't have a set agenda on what to cover in this demo. So I feel if it's if you can have an interactive session, or whatever I can cover in this 1 hour, it should be good enough, basically. So let me know if you guys have any question, and I welcome if anyone wants to ask any kind of questions, basically. Okay, that's number one. The number two point is that in my classes, I try to use 3 different mediums to kind of to coach you guys, of course. So number one, I try to I have lots of documentations that I try to share, theoretical documentation, some hands-on documentations. So I try to share that in this in the classes. Second, I try to do a lot of system live demo. Basically, if you see here, there is a system. It's a remote desktop. You all will get a remote desktop for the BW for HANA. If you join the class, we'll go and do a lot of hands-on in the system live, so that you guys can see the BW for HANA environment. Okay, that's the second way I try to coach. And third, I try to I always like to kind of draw some things, so that I can explain you guys the thing in my mind, basically, because I know it's always difficult to just go and hear everything. Sometimes drawing something, or drawing a design, or drawing a solution, or drawing a connection really helps everyone to understand, basically. Okay. So these are 3 different ways I try to coach, and these ways are quite successful ways, basically. In the past we have seen. So from a expectation point of view, in the classes, I'll be taking the live classes every evening or night or day, whatever your time zone is, and you will get all access to all the documentation that I have. I have a lot of documentation, as I told you before. You'll get access to all the documentation, and also will give you the video recordings of all the classes. If you miss any class, you can go and watch the recordings for that class. Okay. So any questions on this till now? Okay. So let's go again. This is a demo for BW for HANA. So if we let's move on to a little bit. I told you I don't have a set agenda. I'll try to explain a little bit about BW for HANA as much as possible. I'll welcome any questions that you guys have. So I always like to start with this this simple slide. This is kind of kind of the evolution of the BW product from some time back. Okay, and what basically says now how the BW for HANA product, how it is been evaluating, basically how we came here to BW for HANA and what's the background. Okay, so basically if I can show you this the summary of this slide here. So let me try to draw that here. So you guys, I don't know if you guys have any experience in BW or not. That's fine if you don't have any experience. So used to have, in the past we used to have something called BW, right? This is called classic BW, right? So this is the BW that we have, like, the versions from 3.5, 7.0, 7.1, 7.3, 4, 5, all these versions. So this BW was running on basically on any DB, like Oracle SQL, right? So SAP came up with something called a BW on HANA. Okay, so SAP came up with something called a BW on HANA, I think 5 years back, and the first BW version that supported on HANA was BW 7.3 native version. Okay, we supported HANA DB. Again, now HANA, if you don't know, HANA is the in-memory database from SAP. It's just a in-memory database which makes everything faster, and at the simplistic term, it makes everything faster because everything is in memory. So when you run your BW software on HANA, we call that BW on HANA, like this. Okay, so this has been there from some time, like 4 or 5 years now, I believe. BW 7.3 on HANA, then we had BW 7.4 on HANA. Then we had, I guess, the latest native BW version is BW 7.5 on HANA. Okay, so this BW 7.5 is going to be the last NetWeaver BW version that SAP is going to release, like the BW 7 series version. Okay, now this is the last major BW NetWeaver version SAP has. After this, SAP's roadmap is to go and invest in BW for HANA. Okay, now BW for HANA is a new product. It's not a logical upgrade or continuation from this BW 7.5 to BW for HANA. These are upgrades. Okay, these are upgrades, but this is something called a migration, not an upgrade. The difference being is that, of course, your content will, all your investment in old BW will remain valid. It's not that you'll throw out everything and start all over again in BW for HANA. All your investment will be there, but you have to migrate your BW contents to BW for HANA. Okay, so that's why SAP said it's a new product altogether. The BW for HANA is a new product. But the problem with this is that you cannot do a free upgrade from BW older version to BW for HANA. You have to purchase this product all over again from SAP. Okay, that's one thing you have to consider. You have to purchase this product. That's why this is not a logical continuation or a free upgrade from BW 7.5 to BW for HANA. Okay, and one more thing also, you have to be careful that in these older versions of BW, okay, we used to have all these more different modeling objects like your info cubes, DSOs, multi-providers, right? All these modeling objects are supported only till here. After these, like in BW for HANA, these modeling objects are not supported. So while migrating from BW 7.5 to BW for HANA, you have to do a object conversion to the new HANA optimized objects like ADSOs or composite provider or open ODS view. These are the objects which are supported in the BW for HANA environment, not these. These are all gone now. That's why it's not a simple upgrade, right? So as per SAP's roadmap, they are going to stop innovating anything in this BW 7 series. Nothing will come after this, only service packs and fixes. All new innovations will happen in the BW for HANA product. Right now it's 1.0, you'll get 2.0, 3.0 accordingly. So all the new innovations will happen here. Now, if you see, okay, from a roadmap point of view, okay, now Now think about that. Now, right now, as of right now, since BW for HANA is kind of relatively newer, it has been there like 1.5 years or so maximum, or maybe 2 years as a beta release. So as of right now, BW 7.5 latest service pack on HANA is quite similar to BW for HANA from feature point of view. There might be 10-15% features which are newer in BW for HANA. Okay, but from a features point of view, BW 7.5 on HANA and BW for HANA they're similar. But then the question is that if they're similar, why do I need to learn BW for HANA? The answer for this is that after maybe 1 year or 2 years, you will see a big gap between these two versions, because SAP is going to release all the new things in here only, nothing on here. So then after 1 or 2 years, you might see a huge gap between BW 7.5, the last native version, and the BW for HANA. Okay, because SAP is going to release all the new features, new things only on this version, BW for HANA. So basically the point is that from a roadmap point of view, SAP is very clear. If you are a new customer who wants to run BW, you should start with BW for HANA. That's the right decision. If you are an existing customer running BW, you should try to go and invest in migrating your BW environment to BW for HANA. Okay, that should be your roadmap basically. Maybe not right now, not today, but should be of course in the next couple of years at least, because the support for BW 7.5 will stop soon, right? So you should go to a newer version. So any questions on this?
Hey, it's Suprit here.
Yep. Yeah. Hey, tell me.
Oh, all right. Okay. So when you say about 15% of the features are already in BW for HANA, right? So what are the features? Can you name few?
Which are not there in BW on HANA?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for example, in BW on HANA, you cannot have from a point of view of data provisioning, let's say ETL, right? In the BW for HANA gives you something called Smart Data Integrator, Smart Data Access. These features are to do data replication and remote data access. Okay, SDI is definitely not there in 7.5. SDA might be there, but you are not licensed. You have to buy native HANA license to use it in BW 7.5, right? So these are data provisioning mechanism. By using SDI, the Smart Data Integrator and Smart Data Access, you can potentially go and connect your BW environment to a Facebook account, Twitter account to do real-time streaming of data to your BW environment, right? So these things are of course only possible in the BW for HANA, for example. So from a second point of view, now I told you, now this BW 7.5, if I draw it again here, the BW 7.5 is kind of an intermediate version that SAP released. It's kind of a transition version, where the good thing about that, this version supports both old objects as well as new objects. Like when I say old object, that means the old BW objects like InfoCubes, DSOs, and ADSOs, OpenODS view. Okay, this version supports both. So if you just do a migration, lift and shift from old environment to BW 7.5, okay, you can still run on these guys, InfoCube, DSOs, everything, but you are not getting any HANA benefit, because these objects are not going to give you a lot of HANA benefits. As a first step, you should spend time to go and migrate your old objects to new objects. Still in 7.5, that's fine. You can still stay in 7.5, but you should take advantage of these newer objects in 7.5. So that's what I'm saying. In 7.5, you can still get advantage of some of the things from BW for HANA. So, okay, so these objects are basically meant for BW for HANA, but SAP has also provided options in the BW 7.5 that you can develop these objects. Basically, SAP's point of view is that in the BW 7.5 environment, you should go and get ready for the BW for HANA switch. Right? Once you convert these things, then your life will be easier when you go and convert this system to BW for HANA. Because again, BW for HANA does not support old objects like InfoCubes and everything. Okay?
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Question
Anything else?
too?
Yeah. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, this is Nick. When we talk about the InfoCube DSOs, I know more going to be in the BW for HANA. What does
place of the info cube and DSOs in SW for HANA?
So you're saying what objects will replace that? Are you asking that?
Yeah, what object is going to replace the info cube DSOs for the BW for HANA?
Yeah. So yeah, I do have a slide. Maybe we can jump into that right now. So if you see here, this is the mapping. Simple mapping. The left-hand side is the old classic BW object, like till 7.5. Okay, this is a BW for HANA object. If you see, start from here, info object, still stay info object. Okay, all these persistent objects like info cubes, DSOs, hybrid provider, PSA, everything is going to be converted to ADSO in BW for HANA, advanced DSO. Again, guys, one more interesting point, in BW for HANA, there is no PSA table. We do have data sources, but there is no PSA. You have to use, that means there is no PSA, that means there is no info package in BW for HANA. You have to use the DTPs to load data to ADSO directly without loading to PSA. Okay, so all these persistent objects will be converted to ADSOs. All these virtual objects, okay, basically all these virtual, there are two virtual objects in BW for HANA. You have to convert them to, so basically if you have multi-provider or info set, you should go to composite provider. And if you have virtual provider or remote queue, remember those things, you should go to something called open ODS view. And this open ODS view is a very powerful object available both in BW on HANA and BW for HANA, but it's a very powerful object. By using this open ODS view, you can remotely access data from any source without loading it to BW, kind of virtual access. That makes it more powerful. Okay.
All right. Secondly, on the job market, if you have to go at this point in time, are you going to be applying for, SAP BW for HANA developer, or it's going to be SAP in 7.5 developer?
So here's the thing. I understand your point. It's a good question, actually. Now think about that. As I told you, once you convert all your, basically what happens in the BW for HANA, before you can go, if you're running an old BW environment, the main point is to go and convert. It's not the software upgrade, it's the conversion, right? That's the main time taking and more, it's a big task to make sure everything is converted properly, data is transferred, and objects are ready for reporting. So basically, once you are done with that, in the BW 7.5 environment, it's an easy switch to go to BW for HANA. It's an easy basis installation to go to BW for HANA, nothing more. So basically, that the main projects that you see today is for customers who are in older BW versions. Okay, they are trying to go and upgrade and migrate to BW 7.5 on HANA as a first step. Okay, this is the first step. Once you go and migrate, kind of upgrade it to there and migrate it to, when I say upgrade and migrate, I mean that upgrade means do a software upgrade from older BW to BW 7.5. Okay, SP12 is now available, I believe, 13 may be there. And once upgraded, also go and do the object conversion. In this environment, as I told you, it can support both cubes and ADSOs. Do the conversion, and you don't have to do this conversion manually. Okay, there are options available to do the mass conversion. If you see here, if you see here, this roadmap, so this is the BW 7.5 on HANA or powered by HANA. It's basically the same thing, on HANA or powered by HANA, same product basically. If you go to 7.5, SAP has something called a SAP BW for HANA Starter Add-on Kit. It's a software component can be downloaded from Service Marketplace. You can install that on a BW 7.5 environment only, not any previous versions. Only this software component can be installed on 7.5. Once you install this gives you something called a transfer tool. Okay, this transfer tool can be utilized to do mass data flow conversion from older data flow to new data flow, basically, or from old object to new object. Okay, so this transfer tool can be utilized to do that. For that, you need to be at BW 7.5 SP4 or higher. Then you can install this add-on kit. You get this transfer tool. Then you can do this transfer. You can do it phase-wise or application-wise, or whatever you want to do. Like you have all the luxury and time, because as the 7.5 can support both old and new objects, you can go take your time to do, let's say you choose to do critical objects by critical objects or critical application by critical application. You provide the multi-provider name. Okay, it can go and find out all the below layers, and it can transfer everything to a newer data flow utilizing this mapping policy. Like these old objects will be mapped to new objects like that. So basically, the point here is that this is a huge scope of doing this, doing this upgrade or migration upgrade. Once this is done, this is very easy to go and convert it to BW for HANA, because now you have all the new objects, okay, and it's easy to convert the entire system to BW for HANA. Okay, so sometimes basically customers do it in two phases. One is this, second is this. Sometimes they try to do it, they combine these two in one phases. Sometimes it's riskier, but they combine these two phases into one phase. The idea behind this is that you can come here, think of that. You can come till now, BW 7.5 on HANA for free, right? For free, and when I say for free, that means you have to purchase HANA, but software, the BW upgrade is free. That's why customers choose to do this right away. But for this, you have to pay for SAP to buy BW for HANA product. That's why some people are not willing to go there right now, because it's very difficult. Actually, it's very difficult right now to kind of justify the cost for BW for HANA if you don't use those features, right? If you're using those features, like if you have a huge demand to use real-time replication, then of course go here. If you have a huge demand to or huge use case to be able to load data from a big data environment or Hadoop to BW, yeah, of course go here, BW for HANA. BW for HANA has an adapter which can be used to load data from Hadoop, SDFS file system or Spark from anywhere. Also, it can load data. Those are the use cases. If you have, then you do it. Otherwise, you can stay here and try to take advantage of this of the product. And also, main thing is that kind of build the internal knowledge of your team, both BW team and basis team, on how to handle BW on HANA environment, basically.
Yeah, Jim, I appreciate that, but my point I'm trying to make, I know you work here in the US, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you at your job use BW for HANA, or you still at the 7.5 trying to migrate? Because if I'm done with this class, if I have to go look out for a job, I might go out there as a BW for HANA developer or BW 7.5 developer, is what I'm trying to find out.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to explain. Right now, there is not a huge difference. After this class, you should be able to work on both the BW 7.5 on HANA and BW for HANA. Okay? Because the class is, of course, for BW for HANA, but as I told you, kind of 85-90% features are same thing. And the features, like the 15% feature, which are different, as I told you, which are only exclusive for BW for HANA, like SDI, SDA, I will mention that in the class. Okay, these are only for BW for HANA. You cannot take advantage of these features in a BW on HANA environment, right? Like the big data big data integration. These are only possible in BW for HANA. But we will cover these things in the class. We'll cover everything of BW for HANA, including the 10 to 15% features which are extra in BW for HANA. So you should be able to work on both environments.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Any questions, guys? Anything else?
I got it.
Okay, thank you. So, I think let's just move on and see. Okay, from a data modeling point of view, I just want to show you how it is, how it's being getting basically more better in newer BW version. If you see here, okay, it's a very simple, it's a very simple diagram here. Okay, if you see here, the left-hand side is a simple BW data flow on any DB, like so regular BW, classic BW. Okay, you see your data source with PSA, DSO, info cubes, and this is your multi-provider, right? In the right-hand side, this is a simple data flow comparatively to this, similar to this on a BW on HANA environment. Okay, now for what you see here basically is that the exact same data flow using the same old objects, DSOs, info queues, multi-providers. But what happened is that when you do the lift and shift upgrade to BW on HANA 7.5 on HANA, the advantage is that you can still keep your old objects, InfoCube, JSON, and everything. Okay, but these objects will become HANA optimized objects because the environment is now running on HANA. So after doing lift and shift, there is an option. You can go and check a box to make all these old objects. You can still keep the old objects and make it HANA optimized. That means the DSOs will load faster, activate faster, cubes can be reported faster. That you can do in a simplistic term without investing a lot of things, or a lot of effort or funding, right? So this is a possible BW on HANA architecture. The difference being is that same objects but HANA optimized data models. Okay. Now, if I go to BW for HANA, let's say, again, the same, I just want to show you comparison. Old BW, but now have a look on the data flow of BW for HANA. Okay. Now, technically, this data flow can be adapted on a BW on HANA, but it's not required. But on BW for HANA, it is required because old objects are not supported. What you see here is that these two InfoCubes got converted to ADSOs. The multi-provider got converted to composite provider. This DSO is no more required. It's totally eliminated from the flow. The data source with PSA has been changed to ODP data source without PSA. ODP is called Operational Data Provisioning. It's a new source, basically new source system available. This was there in the BW on HANA as well. Okay, so see how it's changed a lot. The data flow has now changed a lot. Now, why this DSO has been eliminated? Because it's not required to have LSA architecture anymore in BW on HANA or for HANA. So LSA means the layered scalable architecture, where we used to have staging layer, conformance layer, integration layer, data mart layer. You don't need any of these layers in a BW on HANA environment. Okay, in a BW on HANA or for HANA environment, you can have basically, so now there's something SAP calls it LSA plus architecture, layered scalable architecture plus, where you don't have to have strict staging, conformance layers, and all those things. You can and one more point also is that in a HANA environment migration, you will always want to eliminate layers, right? So that all the duplicate data can be eliminated. It's a lot of money to go and buy HANA memory. So one thing needs to be taken care is to eliminate unnecessary staging, PSA, all those layers. That will save you a lot of cost in the project. Now, any questions? So let me show you this is a system, this is a remote desktop. I can show you the look and feel of a BW for HANA environment if you have not seen it yet. So let's first go to the SAP GUI, the old SAP GUI, just to see how the BW for HANA environment looks like. If I go to this is a BW for HANA environment. If you see, if I go to system and go to status, you see this is a BW for HANA. Here you go. DW4 code. This is the BW for HANA. Okay, and it's a 1.0 environment, I believe. Yeah, it's a 1.0 environment. Okay, so if I go to our our favorite transaction code, that is RSA1. Let's see what do I see in RSA1. So if you see now in the RSA1 is totally different now, right? The RSA1 looks totally different in the BW for HANA, isn't that? Now, why totally different? Because if you see, there is none of the data modeling capabilities are available here, like no info object, no info providers, info source, or all those things that we used to have before. We don't have them anymore, because you cannot use SAP GUI to do any kind of workbench development in BW for HANA. Only thing left in the SAP GUI is the process chain development, source system creation, and support works like monitoring, and you can, of course, you have analysis authorization left also here. Also transport connections, you can collect transport here, and BI content. These things primarily are available. Everything else has been moved from here. Okay, now where are they now? If you see So you cannot use SAP GUI to do anything now. So what do you use now? You have to use Hana Studio, or we call it Hana Modeler, or we call it Eclipse. It's a Java Eclipse based development platform. You will use this you can use this platform for BW on HANA or for HANA environment exclusively. On the BW, on a BW on HANA environment, if you go to a 7.5 BW create though our info providers in SAP GUI. But if you go to BW 7.5 S4 or higher, you don't have ability. You have to come to Eclipse. So basically, BW 7.5 you can do it in both places, GUI and Eclipse. But in BW for HANA, you cannot do any development in GUI. You have to come to Eclipse or this HANA Development Studio. So this is how the HANA Development Studio looks like. Okay. In here, you see different perspectives. Basically, we call them perspectives here. Of course, you are doing BW for HANA, so you'll go to BW modeling perspective. Once you go to BW modeling perspective, you'll see projects like this. Okay. Of course, you have to add these projects before. Now, these are called BW project. If I want to open a project, I just want to show you these objects, how they look like. See, under the BW project, you see basically two things, except favorites. There are two more things. There's something called BW repository. Okay. Under the BW repository, if you see here, these are now the info areas. You see, these are info areas back in BW days. Under info areas, you will now see all your objects like the ADSOs here, or open ODS views here, characteristics also here. And if you open them from here, for example, I'll open this guy, this ADSO, you'll see a new development interface for the ADSO. Okay. So things have changed a lot in the Eclipse. You have to figure out. I think this looks quite confusing to start with, because we used to always go and do everything in the SAP GUI. But once you know which all the things are transferred here, once you know which things are where, then it will be quite easy for you. So these are the fields of the ADSOs with keys and everything. So this is how the things will look like now in the BW for HANA environment. Any questions?
Hey, this is Suprit here. So this is pretty much similar to the latest service packs on the BW on HANA, right?
So, yes, latest service packs on BW on HANA, right? You're right.
Because see, what I'm currently doing, right? We have the HANA Access. The service pack supports the HANA Access projects and all, okay, which supports the real-time replication scenario like Twitter analysis, seeking data from SQL or other external DB, right, on a real time.
Yep.
So is it now they've added as a component in BW for HANA, or is it the same way that HANA Access project, you choose an Access project and you start the flow graph and all this stuff like that? So how is it?
I see your point. I think you're talking about native HANA point of view, right? You are talking about enterprise HANA point of view. Let me explain that a little bit. So basically HANA DB can be utilized in three different ways as of today, right? Now, the scenario that you are talking is utilizing HANA as to develop apps, right? That's the Access engine, right? So you are describing.
It could be apps, or you would have some requirements seeking, like okay, let me put it this way: we have a SQL server and you want to leverage the HANA because the customer has invested so much in the HANA, they want to try and test what's going on with this HANA. So you want to seek or extract that data, or no need to extract, but in a real time you're being asked to replicate the real time or near real time the data in the SQL server and produce the data in probably a Tableau, or use the leverage more of the HANA index, right? Use the SDI, SDA adapters and all that stuff, show that, right? So often the steps involved are you create a HANA Access project and you add the real-time replication, go to the GUI and do all that stuff, right? So has it ever been changed in the BW for HANA, or is it the same way we do it here?
So BW for HANA does not give you Access engine, first of all, okay? That's a separate component. So that's what I'm trying to explain here. See, now the thing that you're explaining is one of the use case of HANA. It's called native HANA, That's the thing you explained me. Okay, where you, as you said, native HANA means you can use non-SAP software on HANA DB. You use HANA DB as open DB. You can do Java development, you can do .NET development, you can do app development, you can use SQL to load there, whatever, without using any SAP core software. Okay, that's called native HANA development. The scenario that you explained, quite valid. That's number one scenario where customer does not have a SAP software. Okay, that's number one. Number two use case of HANA is in the BW, business warehouse. Okay, when business warehouse runs on HANA, it's called BW for HANA now. Now, business warehouse has a lot of benefits as compared to the native HANA. I'll tell you some of them. Okay, let me complete this thought. It's not the same thing. Now, HANA is a database. BW for HANA is a business warehouse on HANA, not a HANA DB only, right? The number three use case of HANA is S4 HANA, ECC. Your old SAP ECC is going to be S4 HANA. Okay. Now, the advantage, I see your point. You can use the streaming in native HANA. Okay, but customers who are running BW for a second, customers are running BW for the last 20 years. They are not going to throw BW and go to native HANA, right? Because they have to redevelop everything, isn't that? So for them, SAP needs to find a way for them to smoothly migrate towards HANA. Because think about that. Now customers have been developing cubes, DSOs, Vex queries, blah blah blah, right? They're not going to throw everything and to start going to native HANA models like tables, views, everything, right? It's not going to happen because it's a lot of investment. It's a complete wash of all their investments basically that they have done in BW. For them, BW for HANA is a logical next step. Access Engine is not a part of BW for HANA because it's a native HANA component. Okay, where Access Engine is used to develop apps basically, right? All your Java or apps or everything. It's not required basically for the BW for HANA environment. Now, as you ask the question, let me show you the difference from a point of view of a business warehouse versus a native HANA. Because most of the time I get this question that if we have native HANA, why do we need BW for HANA? Isn't that? Because you can do most of the things using the native HANA tables, views, and everything. Isn't that? So to there's so many differences basically as such without going to all those details. And let me tell you what a business warehouse can do for you. In the BW for HANA, okay, we can model our objects using the BW modeling techniques, as well as we can take advantage of native HANA. Okay, this is called the mixed mode modeling scenario. For example, let's say I develop, I think we have this slide here just to explain that. Okay, from all the BW models, okay, I can generate automatic HANA views, HANA calculation views. Okay, once I get HANA calculation views, I can do native HANA development, and those views can be exposed outside for analytical consumption. Now that's a very, very basically good point, or a very important improvement of BW for a long time to getting these HANA views. Now we're going to native HANA. Okay. Now just to explain you how it helps you basically is that now if I go and show you example, okay, I told you from each and every BW object like ADSO, composite product, queries, I can automatically generate a HANA view, right? Now if I go to a HANA view, for example, just to show you, let me just go here maybe, or maybe here. I don't know which are, but let me just show you the HANA view. Now, the BW environment will take care the generation of the HANA views automatically for you guys. You do not have to go and join your tables or go and design a HANA view like native HANA, right? Because in native HANA, you have to be responsible to go and basically create your joins and define the calculation views, right? Advantage of BW is that all these views, now see, this is a auto-generated view out of a BW ADSO. Now see how the tables and everything are already joined for us to be, and the view is already generated. So what I'm trying to say is that these are the advantages of a business warehouse, as compared to a native HANA. I'm not saying native HANA is not good. It's good for its own use case like app development, but for complex business warehouse modeling, okay, it's very difficult to start scratch from native HANA. Okay, that's why SAP's recommendation start from the business warehouse. Then you can jump into native HANA using this view, HANA view. Now, think for a second, how many tables you see are joined, okay? And we have not created this join manually. It was generated from the system automatically. You can consume this calculation view for any kind of reporting in the native HANA. Are you getting a point? What I'm trying to explain here?
Yeah, I get it. See, for BW for HANA is specifically designed for our traditional data warehouse perspective, right? Like if you want to put a balance sheet or probably SD report or an inventory, you have the ready-made calculation views and stuff. Basically, what we call the HANA Live. I agree, but some of the use cases where you will have to leverage some of the SQL data or some DB2 data onto the HANA to show it in a Tableau or some other.
Yeah.
You have the native HANA, right? So both use cases are different.
Yep. But that's why the mixed mode scenario is available in BW for HANA. Okay. The mixed mode scenario will be, let's say you have this BW for HANA environment. Okay. See, the BW for HANA, in a BW environment, you do have access to all the master data, right? Master data, text, all those metadata. In a mixed mode scenario, what you can take advantage of is that you can utilize both BW for HANA and native HANA. Okay. Let's say in your example, okay, you can load your SQL data to native HANA directly, and this native HANA calculation view can be exposed to BW for HANA, okay, and it can be combined with another persistent data model from BW for HANA, and you can get a consolidated report, okay. SQL data going to native HANA, getting a view out to BW for HANA, combine that with finance data or something that you already stored in BW for HANA, and get a one single view for business reporting. That's the use case called mixed mode scenario. That's one of the possible use case you can utilize, because these kind of things were never possible on an older BW environment, right? That's why BW for HANA is there. Or SAP has released this product to take advantage of both BW data warehousing and native HANA perspective.
So in that case, the BW for HANA doesn't cover any CDS views or Access Engine, no Java, nothing, right? It's just plain all about ADSOs and composite provider, correct?
It's a data warehouse. It is not a transactional environment. As I told you, for a transactional environment, CDS views are in the S4 HANA. Okay, CDS views are there in the S4 HANA transactional system. BW is a OLAP system, right? So we don't have CDS views, but BW for HANA can utilize the above CDS views from S4 HANA to pull data from S4 HANA. Okay, BW for HANA is a consolidated reporting environment. It can connect to S4 HANA to get data using above CDS view. And of course, the Java and all development are not part of the BW for HANA. For that, of course, you can have this kind of environment. Okay, so you still have to go to native HANA to do Access Engine and Java development, HTML5 development. Okay, but you can combine the data with BW environment to kind of give a consolidated view for users. And BW for HANA, as I said, it's the continuation for the data warehousing product that customers have, right? To go and upgrade and migrate.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions, guys?
So what is the general roadmap? See, if we have a customer on latest service pack on the 7.5, right? So what is the roadmap if he's going for a BW for HANA? Like usually what is the usually chosen roadmap?
So I told you this is a roadmap, right? From SAP's roadmap, this is a roadmap. They want everybody to come to BW for HANA, but from a customer point of view, it depends. You can stay in the 7.5 latest service pack and can get most of the benefits of BW for HANA, but not all of them. Okay, as I told you, it's a 10 to 15% benefits you will not get, but you can still stay on 7.5 for some time. That's a lot of customers try to do. Now 7.5 on HANA, you can still stay there. You can still utilize your new objects, new data warehousing objects, new features you can utilize. Okay, and you can work on that. But see that there are some differences again. In the BW for HANA does not have BEX component at all, the Business Explorer, if you know that. Okay, that means all your BEX Analyzer, BEX Office Analyzer, Web Application Designer, everything is gone now in BW for HANA. It only has the BW Query Designer to develop the queries. but you don't have any BW. Basically, in a simplistic term, there is no Java server. There is no Java component in the BW for HANA. So the thing is that I told you, if you are a new customer, SAP's recommendation is to go to BW for HANA directly, because that's their go-to product. Okay, that's their go-to product. If you are existing customer in any of the older versions, you should plan to upgrade to 7.5 right away. Then, depend upon your complexity of the landscape and your sometimes your funding, then you can move to BW for HANA. But because think about that, by 2025, your BW native products, not only BW, all the native products, BW, ECC, they are all going to be out of support. Okay, BW for HANA, S4 HANA, they are not native products. They are different product lines. SAP is going to go and focus on these only. It's think like a change between BW 3.5 to 7.0. Remember the change that happened? 3.5 to 7.0 was a huge change. It's kind of a bigger change from there, basically. And SAP is going to force you. Okay.
All right. So yeah, I think I'm done. No more questions from myself.
Anybody else have any questions? Okay. So I think we have already seen some of the slides, but kind of what is the value proposition of BW for HANA, right? Why you should learn about it and why you should implement it, basically. Now, as I told you, a lot of things have changed in BW for HANA. Like one of the thing is the data provisioning. Okay. Now, data provisioning means ETL. If you see in the left-hand side, your classic BW, right-hand side, BW for HANA. What SAP is trying to do is go and basically consolidate all the various data provisioning mechanisms into very few simplified data provisioning mechanisms like these. All these source systems are going to be replaced by only four source systems in BW for HANA. There is no UD Connect, no DB Connect, no data services, no web services, nothing. So, but these four are quite powerful. They can replace all these scenarios. So for example, the HANA source system. This is why you can utilize the smart data integrator, smart data access to go and do real-time replication or the remote access of any data to BW. Okay. The big data, again, this source system is there now to connect to Hadoop environments, new source system. ODP, operational data provisioning. Now, ODP is going to replace all your standard SAP extractors like the SAPI. All the standard SAP extractors will be converted to ODP extractors. Okay, and file remains file, of course. So these are kind of your consolidated or simplified data provisioning mechanism available in the and that will show you some some kind of relevance of these things. This is kind of a very custom curriculum that I do in my batches, and this is a 30-hour course for BW for HANA. I spent some time in the first unit as to give an introduction on what is HANA even, and what's the roadmap for BW for HANA, what's the difference between BW on HANA and for HANA, and basically try to give some kind of overview on the Eclipse modeling tool, because this tool is completely new. How to get it, how to install it, how to use it, right? That's the introduction section I do. Then the unit 2, I spend some time explaining all the new data provisioning mechanisms. ODP is new, okay? It has been there in the 7.5 latest versions and 7.4 also, I believe, but this is the only thing for now available in the BW for HANA. You cannot use old SAP extractors, like the extractor mechanism. You have to use ODP. ODP source systems, HANA source systems, smart data integrator, smart access. So I go and explain all these things in the unit 2. In the unit 3, I go and cover all the different HANA models, ADSOs, composite providers, everything. All these things that we discussed, I will go and cover that there. Okay. Then in the unit 4, I have a section for migration. Now I told you SAP has this migration or scope transfer tool. We'll go and talk about how to utilize that scope transfer tool to go and transfer your old objects to new objects or new old data flow to new data flow. That's something called scope transfer tool or migration cockpit that is available in the once you are in the BW 7.5 and you install the BW for HANA add-on, you get these things. We'll talk about how to do that migration basically. Okay. Then also I'll just keep this one for time being. Here it was I also basically mentioned that one of the very critical enhancement in the BW on HANA or for HANA is the HANA views, or the integration between BW model and the native HANA model. Okay, so from all the BW model, you can generate HANA views on like calculation views. Then once the calculation view is generated, okay, this is the same view as I was showing. This one, this is called a calculation view. On these views, you can create on top of these views, you can create your own custom views. You can create logic. You can write SQL, everything. The main advantage of these views is these views can be consumed efficiently by all the modern analytical tools that are available. Tableau, ClickView, Power BI, everybody likes SQL view consumption as compared to BEX. Nobody likes BEX consumption, right? Non-SAP tools. All the non-SAP reporting tools, they don't like BEX query consumption. And in the old BW without HANA, the only way to consume data was BEX. But in the BW for HANA or BW on HANA, you can utilize these calculation views for any data consumption needs basically. So that's a very critical part of BW for HANA. Okay, and I strongly feel that the BW, the BEX query, in the BW for HANA, the BEX query name, I told you the BEX is completely gone. They're calling the BEX query to BW query now in BW for HANA, and these are also going to be obsolete soon, the BW queries. So the best way to do data consumption for BW for HANA will be the HANA views. That's why I spent a lot of time basically to go and explain how to generate HANA views from those objects, because these are all new for BW the people, right? HANA views. This is a native HANA. I go and spend time here in the how to generate HANA views, how to create custom views using scripting and or the basically your what do you call that, a graphical model and scripting model, how to use union, join, projection in the views. Then we go to the HANA security model, because in BW we used to have this BW security. In the HANA DB we have a different security model called analytic privileges. Okay, that's how we secure our HANA models basically. So we'll go and talk about that. It's called analytic privileges. Then also how to do this HANA view administrations basically from a BW point of view, how to do the HANA view administration. We go and discuss about all those things. Now, again, after that, as I told you, now these calculation views can replace the BEX queries. But if BEX had some good features, like BEX has some good OLAP features, you need to know how to convert all those OLAP features to HANA views. For example, calculated key figure, restricted key figure, variables, how to go and convert them to HANA views. Okay, using the HANA's input parameters, and the HANA also has something called scalar functions, tabular functions, how to utilize them to replace your BEX scenarios. Currency translation, unit translation, remember these are BEX scenarios, but you have to find a way to do it in HANA views. So the other main point was exception aggregation, very nice feature of BEX query, how to do that in HANA views. So I go and explain that so that you will be able to convert your BEX queries or BW query to HANA views for reporting consumption basically. Okay, so that's basically what I covered, and I spend more time on these HANA views because I believe for the future BW developers need to know about these things. BW queries are not going to be the main reporting way in the future. Okay, so this is the curriculum, by the way, guys. And any questions on this curriculum?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, okay. So again, going back to our slide, I'll just finish it up in a couple of minutes. And of course, from a value proposition points, SAP GUI, people had mixed feeling about it. Some people used to like the GUI, some people does not like the GUI. So SAP, the Eclipse or the Hana Studio is a better graphical user interface for development, which is a good improvement. And then of course there are some few small things like your the GUI processing monitoring screen, ISPCM, I believe they are all moved to new HTML5 GUI for better look and feel and better navigation, I believe. So these are new things in BW for HANA. Okay. And at the end, I guess I'll just finish up this demo with this last interesting slide. It says migration paths. Basically, we discussed about how to migrate, but if you see here, if you are existing customer or new customer, what are your paths to go to BW for HANA? As I told you, if you're a new customer, install BW for HANA fresh as a new environment. If you're an old customer, SAP recommends to come to 7.5 on HANA, then install the 7.5. Then install the BW for HANA Starter Edition or Starter add-on, then convert your environment to BW for HANA. Again, this path is a in-place system conversion. In-place means the same system will remain here. You will have the same system ID. Okay, this kind of a upgrade, basically in-place upgrade. But if you don't want to do that, or you don't want to convert your existing environment to BW for HANA, don't want to take risk. In that case, you have another option. What you can do basically is that you can keep this old BW environment, install a new BW for HANA parallel environment, and do a remote conversion. Okay. Now, remote conversion means you can transfer all your data models from old BW to new BW for HANA environment. While transferring, the data models will be converted. Also, you can move your data from old BW to BW for HANA. This is called remote conversion. Disadvantage on this one is that you get a new system altogether, right? Your old system will remain same. You get a new system altogether. So when you write a new system, then you have to take care of things, right? And the other thing is that you have to kind of plan for this new systems, hardware, software, every damn thing, right? Basically the last option that you have here is that there's something SAP also now supports. If you have multiple SAP BW environments, you want to go and consolidate all these non-HANA BW environments into one BW for HANA environment. You can take advantage of their landscape transformation tool to go and consolidate your multiple BW environments into one SAP BW for HANA environment. So these are your kind of possible migration paths available to do migrate to BW for HANA. Okay. So I think I am done with all the content that I have. Let me know if you have any questions or anything that I can clarify.
Yeah, Rajab, this class is for 30 hours. So what is the class schedule timings?
The timings normally is we do it Monday to Friday, 9:30 p.m. EST. Okay, 9:30 p.m. EST. The same time as we did the demo actually.
Yeah, but for how many hours?
We do one every day. We try to do 1.5 hours.
1.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna conflict my time on my job,
So which time zone are you now?
Here at about I'm in Delaware, so I'm just about 10:30, 10:33.
PM, right? You're in EST also.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're in EST. Okay, yeah. So we normally do is 9:30 p.m. I know we choose this time so that we can have some students for India, they can join also. So that's why we try to choose that this timeline.
Okay. It's Monday to Friday?
Yes, it's going to be Monday to Friday, or we can do Sunday to Thursday. Either way, I think we sometimes do Monday to Friday, sometimes do Sunday to Thursday. It depends. Once everybody agrees on time, we can go and do it.
Okay.
Yep. Anything else, guys?
No, we're good. Thanks,
okay.
Sanjit. Thanks for the class.
Sure. And thank you for your time, guys. And you're always welcome to ask any other questions. You can go and talk to support team of Bigclasses. They can clarify all your questions. And I think again, thank you very much. And hopefully we'll see you guys in one of our classes in the future. Okay. Thank you very much. Bye bye.